Hey, welcome to the Car Connection Workshop. Tons on the go with the 97 Jeep TJ Rescue. If you missed the previous episode, we put power to the entire vehicle, and we got two things that we do not have working. We don't have dash lights, and we know that we have 3 speeds on the blower motor not working. So these were things. Dash lights we had before we did the whole dash removal. So we got to chase that down. That's where I'm going right now. There is an auxiliary fuse panel in behind the glove box lid, so that's what I'm chasing there. The fan speed, while the glove box lid is out, what we call the tri-resistor that operates the fan motor gives you all the speeds. This has 4 speeds. So there's low, extremely low, then high. So you can see here we have 4 dots. So we have really low, and so that's why I call them gears. We have 4 gears on this, the big dot being the only speed that's working. If this is all the way over to the O, the fan won't come on. So I've set it for face, and so that's what we're going to do. So if you're interested in putting more money back in your pocket, in your wallet, when it comes to auto repairs, you want to know more about auto repairs, you want to know how to save on auto repairs and help us to help you put more money back in your wallet and keep your car long life, you're in the right YouTube channel. So I'm just going to dive in quickly here. I got one strap to take off, and this is a part of the Jeep I really like, is that you can access all the heater system very, very quickly, and you don't have to go through a whole rigmarole to get the glove box out, because on a lot of cars, it's a stinking headache. Look at how quick I'm in. And it also gives you a roadmap as to where the fuses are on the panel that's sitting right here, and there's also a road map on there as well. So I'm just going to move these keys, put that there. We'll just stick that in there nicely. And we're right at the fuse panel, just like that. So we're checking parking lamps. There we go. I was pretty sure I saw that. Being in here for so long, taking care of the heater system, we have park lamps right here. So that would be, so as you see this chart, which is, this is really good, because on a lot of cars, you can't access this that fast. And the blower resistor motor is right down here. Not the resistor motor, but it's down here. So this is all heater controls here. But there is a resistor. Oh boy, I got to take that panel out. That was a lot of fun and a bag of chips. But anyways, that's where the resistor is. This is the speaker wiring. This is the factory wiring, and I've wired the radio into the factory wiring. This was somebody else's fancy wiring on the 206. That I got the dash and everything from. So we need to road test that fuse, because I did hear a little click, and it could have been something else. So if you want a really quick ground on these, you can go right to the door striker, just like that. So just set it so that it doesn't pop off. That'll give you a really good ground circuit. So let's see if we have power to that fuse. So what I need is, Skippy, if you can reach in and pull the headlight switch out 1 notch, that'll give us parking lights. Okay, did you say yes? Did I hear you say yes? So we can go on a fuse. The one above it is good. So we are second one. No, we are in, is there a horn one in here too? Radio, airbag, spare. So they even give you a row of spare fuses right here on the left. I thought that was pretty cool too. You get four fuses that are spares, and these are mini fuses. So panel lamps, we got a 5 ampere, we got 2. So panel lamps are on a separate. Okay. So parking lamps are over here. We have parking lamps. We're good there. Right, Skip? We're good there? So we just need panel lamps. So let's see. It's number 12, and they're marked, clearly marked. I like that. And the switch is pulled out, yes? And we have a big yes on that. We don't have any power here. We are powerless. So let's see if we do have power somewhere else. Let's go back to there. We have power on that, which is fog lamps, which it doesn't have, but it will have when I'm done. Okay, so maybe, no, we shouldn't have to have ignition on for that. Shouldn't have to. You should be able to just pull it out. Pull the, can you pull the switch out even further? Well, we have headlights on too. Push it in one. We should have parking lamps on. Just parking lamps right now. Pull it out. Okay, we don't have parking lamps. Push it all the way in. Pull it out one click. There we go. Oh, we had it. We had parking lamps there for a minute. We have just headlights there. Okay, I'll have to come over there and have a look at that. See what's going on. But we have parking lamps. Parking lamps are not, if that switch is out, they're not on. Okay, we need to get a puller because there is no fuse puller. Get a fuse puller and just pull those two fuses out and make sure we got a positive connection there. And I'll just come over and check that switch and let it beep for a minute. Now it's not beeping. Well, okay, so that's all the way in. That goes that way. That's a headlight warning. Headlights on. Beeper. We got parking lamps? No. It might be a headlight switch issue. It's really old. It could be. But we have headlights. And we got. Okay. So before we go too crazy, they're on now. Ha ha! But we have no parking lamps. Dash lights are working. Yeah, it's the headlight switch is not very good. Now it won't even come out. Yeah, I know where the problem is. The switch is really old. Okay, so I know they do work. They do work. They're capable of working. It's in the headlight switch itself. I did clean the switch when I had it out with some contact cleaner, but you never know. And now the knob doesn't want to come out all the way, so yeah, we'll jump on that. Let's see why we don't have any parking lamps. Now we have parking lamps, see? Now we have them. Yes, it just went out. So it is in the headlight switch for sure. So you know what? There we go. We got them now, but we lost. Yeah, it's flickering, so I'm not going to play with that. I'll just, you know what? It's 1997. The switch wasn't that healthy. It's probably less than $30 to put a new one in. So let's just double check the power over here and make sure that we are capable of getting parking lamps. So let's just test. See if we, just pull those two. I want to pull those two fuses just to check them It's always a good idea. Just check and make sure the fuse connection is good, but I believe it is 100% because we can get it to come back. The switch is kind of hokey, sketchy, and it's best just to change it out because I've seen those things catch fire. They're old and they are kind of vintage. They're a sealed unit now, so that's panel lights are here. We'll just check the fuse, make sure it's okay. And yeah, it looks fine. I'm going to give that a thumbs up. It's good. So it's definitely not a connection over here. So it's looking like it's all coming back to the headlight switch. When I went to put the switch rod back into it, because to get the push-pull, you have to push a button underneath to get it out. And this one is, it's no good. It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. Baby, it's no good. It isn't. We probably popped it. Okay, so here's what we can do. That's a 20. We'll just, hey, these are probably vintage now, 1997. Fuses get old too. Let's see. Is that one nice? Play nice now. That's a nice one. So if you were to compare them, see if you can see this on the camera. I'll try and hold this light like that. There's two fuses here. You see what's missing? See the horseshoe here? Right there, it ends. Right where my finger's poking. Let's see if I can get my test light. Right here. Right there. Fuse is not working. This is a good fuse. So let's put that back into, take the one that's not looking good, put that back into here, and it may have been the headlight switch itself that popped it. It's very possible, because I was yinging and yanging over there. So, all right, so I'm going to come over there now. I'm going to come over there, Skippy, and we'll just give it one more road test. But I'm pretty much sold on the idea. I didn't like that headlight switch even after I cleaned it. It was kind of just not quite right. Okay, so that is working. Let's see what we get here. Oh, I just heard the fuse pop. Yeah, so I know it's in the headlight switch. It just popped. Yep. So that's how you test it. And when you get down to something like that where it's a little sketchy, just change it out. You're wasting your time otherwise. So I'll just remove my gear over here and I'll take that fuse out that's blown so that we know that that is the area of weakness. So we'll have to hunt down a switch and then we'll be just fine. So check this, see if it popped. And it did, just so you know. It popped. So we know the headlight switch has got an internal issue. And as I said already, it was sketchy when I put it in, but I cleaned the rheostat inside it because it's not digital, it's not an electronic switch. It's a analog switch, and so the coil inside, which is your rheostat, remember the days of the dining room light? Turn it up, turn it back, works exactly the same way. So we'll rustle up a switch and I'll pull the lower panel, change that out, then I will also test to verify that the blower resistor block is not working, and I suspected that beforehand anyway, so that's another item I'll just change it out. There's no sense in messing with it, and it's corroded too, so that's not too bad after having the entire Jeep ripped apart inside and a new dash and all the wiring and put the harness back in. So till next time, keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you liked the video, like I know you did, ring the bell. Just get it done. Get notified when the next video comes out. See you in the next one. Gotta go.